AMG changed the hot hatch game with its 265 kilowatt A45, raising the bar very high indeed for its rivals.
But Audi was more than up to the challenge. Meet the 270 kilowatt Audi RS3.
Yes, you heard that right. I said 270 kilowatts. That's more power than a Porsche 911 in the body of a hatchback. Want more numbers? Torque, 465 Newton meters. Top speed, up to 280 kilometers an hour. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, faster than a Porsche 911. Just 4.3 seconds. All this is possible thanks to Audi's devotion to the 5-cylinder engine. The 4-ring brand has made the unusual turbocharged inline 5-cylinder its own and has used it to power iconic cars such as its 80s rally cars, the very first RS model in 1994, and more recently the TT RS. Now that all sounds good on paper, but what does it mean when the rubber hits the road?
But it's not just that big headline power figure that gives it so much performance. Really, what impresses most is the torque. All that torque kicks in really down low in the rev range, so there's instant punch as soon as you get out of a corner. But the other really cool thing about this engine is the noise that it makes. It sounds fantastic. There's a real bark to it. You can hear there as you downshift. There's a real pop and crackle to the exhaust. It sounds like a race car, which is really, really cool, and just what you want in something as extreme as this, because Audi really is trying to make an extreme hot hatch here. The engine is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Now while it has its foibles on the road, they're getting better. They're making it a bit smoother at low speed, which has been the bugbear of these transmissions. But on a racetrack, it comes alive. It has really sharp, precise shifts, and it feels really well mated to this engine.
Stopping power is provided by 370mm front discs clamped by sizable 8-piston calipers. And, in what Audi claims is a first for this hot hatch class, you can option supercar spec carbon ceramic discs if you want even more bite.
But for all this talk of the engine, this is still a hot hatch, and that means it's got to go around corners well. And this RS3 really excels in that department. That's in part thanks to new suspension and dampers that are changed and improved upon from the already impressive Audi S3. If that's not enough though, you can actually get optional wider front tyres. They're actually wider than the tyres on the back, 8.5 inches versus 8, to help reduce understeer, that feeling of the front end wanting to push away as you exit a corner, which is a notorious bugbear of front wheel and all-wheel drive hot hatches. And again, on the track, it impresses. You've really got to push the RS3 hard and really stress it to make it understeer and scrub some speed in the corners. It's seriously impressive, but it's not perfect. There are some criticisms. On a racetrack like this, it's a smooth ride, but get it on the open road, and we've been driving on some of Italy's less than perfect roads, which are quite similar to roads you'll find in Australia. And quite frankly, it is pretty harsh. The suspension is really firm, even in the comfort setting. So on highways and on those pothole marked roads, you will find you'll be bumping and jarring from time to time, which isn't ideal. But all this performance doesn't come cheap, and expect a sticker price of around $80,000 when this car goes on sale. And that doesn't include options. There'll be plenty of options, including those carbon ceramic brakes and the wider front tyres. So this is not going to be a cheap car. This really is pushing into sports car territory. Another little criticism is the interior. Apart from this nice little suede touches on the wheel and this flat bottom steering wheel and these really supportive bucket seats, there isn't a whole lot going on in the cabin to suggest that you're driving this super high performance hot hatch. You can get highlights, optional highlights of red splashes on the interior, on the vents, on the seat belt, but by and large, it looks pretty much like an S3. The exterior though is a different matter. There's some nice touches that actually gives it a real lift on the visual front.
There's a new aluminium framed grille, honeycomb black grille insert, and wider front fenders, as well as an integrated rear diffuser.
Overall though, this really is an impressive car, and it shows just how high the level in the hot hatch game has been raised by the likes of the A45 and even this car's distant cousin, or not so distant cousin, the Golf R. It really is a golden age for hot hatches. Of course, after just a single day behind the wheel, it's too early to say whether the RS3 can best the A45 in a straight fight. But I'm certainly looking forward to finding out when the RS3 goes on sale in October. But one thing's for certain, hot hatch fans have never had it so good.